Good morning, all of you. Today, we'll discuss our next chapter in machine tools and machining principle. Our next chapter is tool, tool failure plus tool failure and tool life. This is our next chapter. Okay. First of all, we discuss tool failure because during machining operation, there are several parameters acting on the workpiece, acting on workpiece and job and tool, so that there is a chance of tool becomes dull. That means tool cannot operate optimally, or tool become fail. So in this lecture we have to discuss about why tool is fail and what are the basic mode of failures. At last, the service of tool is over, that is tool life. First of all, we discuss reason. Reason why tool become becomes fail. First of all, we have already discussed the cutting operation is done by the tool because the cutting force is acting on the job by the tool. Okay. Now the important role of cutting force is to cut the job. Now if the cutting force is too high, then tool become fail. Okay, this is our first reason. There are several reason. Okay, second point is cutting temperature. Cutting temperature. If the cutting temperature between tool and job interface is very high, then tool is also fail. Okay, so these two conditions causes the tool to fail. Third one is if we use tool continuously, then after some time tool become fail. Tool become fail means the cutting edge is not cut the job properly. That means tool cutting edge of the tool becomes blunt. Okay, so continuous wire. If the continuous wire is occurred, then the tool becomes fail after some time. Okay, if the temperature is very high, then there is a chance of the tool goes to plastic region, so that the tool metal becomes soft, and then the property tool is always harder than the job is failed, so that the purpose of tool is not served. Okay, these three are the these three are the basic fundamental reasons. uh, Apart from that, there are several reasons of tool failure. Okay, tool geometry is also another aspect, because if we don't choose proper tool for proper work material, then tool become fail. Okay, and another point is tool material. Tool material, if the tool material, if we have choose the tool material which cannot withstand high temperature, high forces and wiring action, then tool become fail, because tool material is depends on the purpose of tool to cut the job. Okay, for developing the materials, we have to develop the material to withstand the forces, temperatures and wiring action or other types of properties. Okay, so cutting tool technology has cutting tool technology has two aspects. One is developing tool material, to withstand high force, temperature, wire. This is our first. The second one is tool geometry. I have already told. Tool geometry, if we don't choose the proper tool geometry for proper cutting operation or proper job material, otherwise, then the the power tool becomes fail. Okay, now wire. Wire is a very important term. Wire. Okay, there are several types of wire occur in the tool during cutting operation. Okay, first of all, we discuss the failure. Failure. First of all, we discuss the failure. There are several types of failure. First one is fracture. Fracture, that means mechanical breakage. Second one is temperature failure. I have already told temperature failure. Third one is gradual wire. Fourth one is chemical failure. Okay, fracture or mechanical breakage is that if the cutting force at the tool point becomes very excessive, then there is a chance of tool fail by brittle fracture. First of all, we draw this diagram. First of all, we draw the diagram.